I am the big tank.
On the battlefield of life, nothing's harder than a tank. Yeah, have you ever met a man, hearts full of love, bigger than a tank?
Big tank.
He served in a few wars. He's a veteran that stands for a cause. For the best interviews and news, just keep it glued to the
Tank. I
tank.
am the tank. Big
Big
tank.
Tank Talk.
Tank.
Big Tank Talk.
Tank.
Big Tank Talk.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Big Tank Talk. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing singer, songwriter, and musician Ray Sanchez, also known on Clapper as SanRay69. Ray, welcome to Big Tank Talk.
Well, thank you, and thank you for inviting me over.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I've heard you play. I've heard you sing. You are fantastic. And I think
Thank
my
you.
friends and viewers would like to know more about you. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right in. What first got you into music?
My father. I always say that I was born from music, since pretty much everyone in my family plays and sings, and my father has been my idol, and I just wanted to continue doing what he used to do.
Well, that's fantastic. I have found that family, in a lot of cases, plays into what tends to lead my gifted musical friends into music in the first place. That's awesome. Um, could you describe for me your creative process?
Well, it depends. A lot of times, like the people when we write, most of the time it's stuff that we experience, um, or you can just one day wake up and have that idea in your head and you have to write it down real quick, you know. But most of the time, it's just that it's just experiences, and I look around to what's going on in life at that moment.
That makes sense to me. In my life, I've written one song, so I can't really call myself a songwriter, but I do have at least a tiny bit of insight to that.
Oh,
Um, so let me ask you. Let's do a little uh, what if. Um, if you could choose someone that you could be an opener for in a concert, for example,
hmm,
and it doesn't have to be somebody current; it can be somebody from the past. But if you could, who would you like to open for?
that's funny. I was a big fan of Kenny Rogers, and I would I would have loved to be able to open for him while he was alive. If I had the chance now, it would probably be George Strait.
Those are a couple of excellent choices. I George Strait is among my favorite that are currently still at it right now. But yeah, Kenny Rogers was a tremendous talent, and it was a big loss when he passed.
Yes,
Okay, now let's take a little twist on that. If you had the choice, who would you like to collaborate with?
probably the same, George Strait.
Uh, Again, not bad choices.
And
Um,
I love his music, the different style that he brings to them. It's just amazing.
well, I absolutely agree. Now, some of my questions, you'll have a different perspective because you're a little older than some of the people I've interviewed, but I appreciate the difference in perspectives anyway. Um, do you anticipate ever doing any kind of touring, or have you done it?
Well, I have done in the past. I mean, I from being young, I used to with my father to his shows. He would put me on stage and sing a little bit. Then I entered his band when I was 13. From that moment, we pretty much we stay within the East Coast, and did some recording, some TV, radio. So, do I want to do it again? Yes, I would. I would love to be able to do it again.
Now, having had a taste of it when you were younger and knowing you'd like to do it now, what would you anticipate being the hardest part about being on tour?
Well, now it would be more the separation of the family. You know, being out there while the family stays behind. I think that would be a little tough, but they understand my love for the music, and I'm sure there wouldn't be any problem on that. So if anybody's listening and they want to give me a shot at it, call Mr. Tank.
Well, I'd love to see that happen, and I would love to have an opportunity to come and see you play live too.
No, that would be great.
So let me ask you, taking a little different turn here. Like me, you've been around a little while. You've seen a lot of changes in our world in the time we've been on this planet. How would you say, good or bad, the internet has impacted the music business?
The good is that it has spread worldwide. I mean, when I was in the business, let's say 24/7, it was a personal thing. It wasn't like now that you have communication over the internet and stuff. No, we had to travel to offices and discuss plans and show times and everything. And for people to hear your music, you actually had to travel a lot in between radio stations and everything for that. Nowadays, the internet has just opened the door to the whole world. So it makes it a lot easier for people to see the artists that are coming up.
That certainly makes sense to me. Um, it's a question I've asked many music performers. Most of them see the positives. Um, the negatives, I guess, have to do with um, it. While it's a positive for independent artists to get their music out there. One of the things I've heard that's a negative is it's hard to get paid anything reasonable for the music you put out there.
Yeah, that I've heard a lot. In my case, I do it more for the love of the music. I still have that in me. You know, don't get me wrong, getting paid is great. That's why a lot of us do it also. But like I said, for me, it's more the inner feeling that you get when you know somebody's enjoying the music you're providing.
I definitely understand that. So, um, from this, I guess at any point from the start of when you started playing and entertaining people to now, what's been the best advice you've ever been given regarding making music?
Well, my father used to say to me, think about the rest of them, not about yourself, because your music is going to give them a sense that someday they're going to hear that tune and they're going to remember where they were, what they were doing, and a lot of times the loved ones around them. And that's what I try to do.
I like that. That's really good words to keep in heart, especially when you're making your music. Um, Let me ask you. So you've been making music a long time. It's fair to say that, yes?
Yes.
I know your dad was a big reason you got into music, but what or who inspires you to make music now?
Nowadays, I will have to say he's still my dad. He's always in the back of my head. Let's put it that way. And anytime I grab the guitar or I sit down to write something, I can still hear him telling me, make sure it's good. So, you know, he's still there for me.
And having heard you play, I'm quite sure your dad was proud of you when you were younger, and I'm sure he'd be proud of you today.
I like to think
Um,
so, yes.
Something I haven't done with my musical guests before, but I wanted to ask you: Would you like to play a song for my viewers?
Sure. If you don't mind, being that I am Spanish, of course, I would like to perform a Spanish one that is actually on Spotify right now. It's called Borrasca, which the title, what it means is like a small tropical storm. I'll give you the background of the song so you understand where it's coming from. Let's put this: almost everything I write and everything has to do with love, and that's the world that we're in today. Everything's about love. Everything has to be that way. And the song states that there is a couple that love each other so much that they thought their love would never end. But things happen along the way, and the way it's described is that even a small storm knocks the whole castle down.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So and yeah, if you think about it, it is true.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoy it. Excuse me. Todo en la vida termina, es la triste realidad. Por eso no sientas pena si es que lo nuestro ha de terminar. Mas no busquemos culpables que no vamos a encontrar. Aquel que tuvo la culpa, el tiempo lo premiará. Parecía nuestro amor una sólida pared, y la más leve borrasca lo destruye, ya lo ves. Mas no busquemos culpables que no vamos a encontrar. Aquel que tuvo la culpa, el tiempo lo premiará. Aquel que tuvo la culpa, el tiempo lo premiará.
I have to tell you, Ray, and I don't speak a word of Spanish, but I recognize a beautiful song when I hear it. That was fantastic.
Thank you so much.
You say that's available on streaming platforms now?
Yes, it is.
And it's under Ray Sanchez?
Under Ray Sanchez, yes.
There you go, my friends. Ray Sanchez is available on streaming platforms, and that song you just heard is available. Let me ask you, if you could make any changes to the music business, what would it be?
Oh, well, I know I'm going to be hated for saying this, but I will have to say eliminating the auto-tune. Just because it is better to perform with your own vocals than to have a machine do it for you. Because with the machine, you will never know how far you can go just on your own. And you'll be able to hear if you need to improve or not, which should give you that strive to perfect it, if you can understand that.
I do understand it. And then there are going to be people out there that hear that answer and totally disagree with you.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it makes sense to me. And I think autotune, it makes it easier for people that aren't as talented to disguise that fact. And I may catch hate for that too, but it's what it is.
I gotta be honest about it. If he gives me a black eye along the way, Sorry, but that's the way that I feel about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know that you're a military man.
Yes.
Uh, you want to tell everybody what branch you served in?
Yes. Retired Army.
Retired Army. So I know biting your tongue or beating around the bush is probably not part of your vocabulary.
You know me well.
And I'm like that myself. You don't get very far in the military without being able to speak your mind and do it plainly.
Right.
So, from a musical standpoint, what's your biggest fear?
Pardon me?
I said, from a musical standpoint, what is your biggest fear?
Well, I mean, not only from the musical standpoint, but in life itself. My biggest fear is to not make a difference. That's what I keep in mind all the time. By the time that I'm gone, I want to be satisfied that I did something that either helped or made somebody's life better.
I absolutely respect that. I kind of have taken that view on my life as well. But I just say if I can make a difference in one person's life, then I've done something, and I can rest easy with that.
Oh, that's great.
I suspect I might know the answer to this next question, but I'm going to ask anyway. Who's your hero?
My father. Yes. On questions like that, I'll have to say my father was my world. Everything I learned was through him, watching him. When it comes to the guitar playing, I used to mimic him when I was a kid and just watching. I never took a lesson. I just watched. And I was fortunate enough to pick up a few things here and there.
I have to tell you, Ray, for somebody who is self-taught, you're a hell of a guitar player as well.
Thank you.
One more question.
Sure.
What's down the road for Ray Sanchez from a music standpoint?
Okay, well, soon here, within a few months, I'm planning on putting another song out in the streaming platforms. I'm not going to give too much into it, just be like a little surprise going out there. And I am trying to work to see if I can start again going to venues and putting shows out there. That's pretty much what I want to do. I want to be able to go and be with the people, and I love that atmosphere.
Oh, that sounds good. I may have a way to help you with that, but we'll talk about that when we're not in the middle of an interview.
Okay.
And I'm wrong. I did have one more question.
Okay.
For those aspiring singer, songwriter, musicians that are coming up, what advice do you have for them?
Don't give up. It doesn't matter what you think, that if you think your product is not good enough, put all that aside. Let the people appreciate what you're bringing to the plate.
That's fair. And after all, most people that have musical or art, any kind of artistic talent, they tend to be pretty hard on themselves anyway. So I
That is
like
true.
that. Definitely don't give up.
That is true.
All right, Ray, at this point, I would like to offer you an opportunity to do a shout out. It can be for one of your songs. It can be for some person in your life. What you shout out is up to you.
Well, I want to, do a shout out to some of my friends, and like for instance, Vincent Dent, Navy Chief Clappers. He's my brother-in-law. And pretty much a shout out to all the people that have been supporting me from the bottom of my heart. I just want to say thanks to them.
That's absolutely awesome. And I'm sure they appreciate your talent, what you give to them, in the way of entertainment. I know I love to hear you play and sing. So, my friends, if you feel like there were questions that I left on the table and didn't ask Ray, put them in the comments. Between Ray and I, we'll get you answers if there are such questions.
Yes.
In the meantime, like the interview, and please subscribe because I do have more good things coming. Ray, I really appreciate you taking time to sit down with me and let me ask you a few questions.
It has been a pleasure. You know, anytime I'm here for you, mate.
I appreciate that. You have a wonderful day.
Same to you. Ciao.